we are running a little late today. I'm working out from the house because I got some sick kiddos and sick wife, and Trey is struggling with his internet. So he is driving down the road because he had to go to Florida. So in the meantime, if y'all will chat with me, we'll give it a couple minutes and see what's going on with him. Hopefully, this little one will work with me enough to where I can do this show. Who all we got in with us tonight? I see Keith Stan's already here calling us out for being late. It ain't my fault. We're doing our best. Let's see. Got Tyler in here with us. You say, hey? Yeah, hey. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Doing good, working on the fifth nest. Adam's here, Santana, Michael. Hey, everybody. Well, while we're waiting on Trey to join and figure out what's going on with his internet, give me y'all's feedback of what y'all think happened this weekend. Was anybody at the Arnold? I know Michael was there competing. Congratulations to Michael for top 10, I think, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, she is the star of the show. Yeah, my background's blurred out because I'm in my bedroom, and my bedroom is not clean. So, yes, I got it blurred out. 7th. Congratulations, Michael. That's awesome. 7th in the 275. It's a really good finish there. Yeah, Stan Strongman Court. Tell me your thoughts on that one. No, Olivia, keep quiet. Let me know what you think. We're still waiting on Trey to join in. He's having internet issues with his phone. What's up, Destiny? He's gonna be really upset if he can't join because he had a lot of grievances. We might have to do this just on the phone. We do have a new member. Let me shout them out real quick. Make sure I'm saying the right name. Planning on getting a booth at the Shaw. Okay, so Tyler Haynes said he's going to plan on getting a booth at the Shaw Classic, selling, I'm assuming, axes, knives, what? Give me 1 second. Let me make sure my child's not walking down the stairs. Father of the year right there. Catch her as she's already in the other room. Stan said you were a victim in November, so the Masters National, I believe. Quick changes, post rules meetings. Yeah, I heard Limit Breaker had some of that too. 3.5 hours late on getting started. The open weight class was the problem. Time frame for events was too ambitious. Before the competition, they have a schedule to do all 4 qualifying events in 2 hours. Yeah, that's insane. The fact that they expected y'all to run through 4 events in 2.5 hours, or just 2 hours and 50 minutes, is insane. And it was really messed up how they did that with the open weight class. They're the ones qualifying for the classic. You definitely want to make sure you have the right people there. Let's see. Rushing the athletes. Destiny's talking about, yeah, there was a bodybuilder who died of dehydration at the show. Dehydration is a big issue when it comes to the bodybuilding community. And if you don't take care of yourself, it's definitely going to take care of you. Getting rid of the hoist pull for an axle clean and press is also sad. At least make it. Yeah, I agree. Changing that out was kind of odd. I don't know what they thought there, but we sorry, I'm trying to check in on Trey because he is driving and I want to make sure he ain't wrecked or anything. Yeah, skip an entire event like that. That's insane. Destiny's pointed that out. How do you know who's the best to go into the finals if you only did 3 events? I mean, that's pretty. It's a pretty tough call. Masters lost events and only let the top 10 compete when they're invited 12. That's an odd number. Just hey, you two, you suck. You're not going. See if I can message Trey through Instagram because his text messages are not going through. Let's see. Especially when the hoist pull didn't break. Yeah, explain to me, Olivia. Do you know why they? He said only that removed blame himself. What was the point of removing the hoist pull, or do we know? Does anybody know? Let's see. Destiny, you talking about in which class? Let's see. She didn't get the down on her 188. Yeah, the firefighters class. It seems to be the only one that got to do everything. Oh, I didn't see the lightweight Destiny. I missed a lot of the lightweight classes. I was watching the classic with the open weight classes and everything when they were going on. Excuse me. Olivia said stand by. She's getting the details on that one. James was informed on the weight limit for the stage, and the hoist far exceeded the weight limit. Oh, he knew the weight limit beforehand and went ahead and brought it anyway. If you know the stage is not going to be equipped for that, it's ridiculous that you would try to. Why wouldn't you tell anybody? I mean, if you knew the weight limit was over or the weight capacity was not going to hold the implement, that's a decision you could have made a long time ago and let the athletes know. She didn't follow the log down and someone compared the videos to hers. I will say the judging was very inconsistent from what I saw. He was then told he couldn't unload it, so he changed it to the axle. Wow. Steve, yeah, Steve, exactly right. It's absolute pain in the ass event to set up and train it. I mean, you train for this that's a nightmare to set up. It's probably going to take you more time to set up and break down than it is to actually train it. And then you don't even get to utilize it. Still waiting to hear back from. There we go. Looks like Trey's got his phone working at least. He's responding to messages now. Yeah, them closing the venue early and sending everybody out, that's insane. Olivia, I got a voice message from her. She was hiding out, trying to stay back there so she didn't get kicked out. Oh, I think we got Trey. Hang on. Says he's here. Trey, can you hear us? Hmm. Sorry, everybody. It's a little. Ah, oh, dang, we lost him again. I don't want to tell too many stories for Trey in case he is able to join in. We'll give it a few more minutes. If he can't join in, we'll reschedule this for another night. Oh, he's calling in now. Hey, we're live. All right, so let me get back to this. Spectators were told at 8 p.m. they had to leave the location. Several officers came up and told us to leave, that the log press was going on. We got up and hurried to the coach's area. Yeah. It's crazy that they would ask people to leave. I mean, you've got people flying in from all over the world, all over the country to watch and support their family. And, it's not their fault that the show is running long. You would think the venue would be a little more accommodating for that. I mean, this is one of the biggest shows that it probably hosts. I'm not familiar where it's at, but I know it's in Ohio, but I don't know the convention center or anything. Let's see, we had a couple. Strongman Corp didn't let the Opens do the last event, then they killed Trey's Center. I mean, it's odd that they chose of all classes the open men, the ones who are having to qualify for the next level. I mean, essentially, that's the only one moving up from that show. They weren't allowed to do the final event. You had people who were 3 or 4. I mean, within a couple points that could have changed position going into the final day had they had that last event. So, I mean, your top 8 might not have been your top 8. All right, Trey's calling back. Hey, man.
I can't use it.
Okay.
Every time I use this app, it takes my internet kick off. So.
All right. Let's try something unconventional. Do you have? Let me try something real quick.
Until my internet fixes itself, I can't do anything. So you're going to have me on this speaker and talk that way. That's all I can do for now.
All right. We're going to try this out. Can everybody hear Trey?
Hello.
Give me some information in the comment section. We got about 15 to 16 people here watching with us.
I'm not happy right now.
He's not happy to begin with, and he's definitely not happy now. Olivia said, "Hello, America," for you.
Okay, good.
Yes, everybody can hear you, so we're going to go with that.
Okay. All right. I apologize, but I'm on the way to Florida, and my internet, for some reason, Chuck has gave me something from Russia, and now it's screwed up my files.
Don't blame me. Don't blame me. You're the only one having this issue.
Oh, okay. I can't even access where I'm going right now, like to look at it on the GPS. So this is wonderful.
Oh, be safe. I know the weather's getting bad around here, so let's dive into it. They've been in the comment section complaining about everything, but there's clearly a lot of people not happy with this show, and I know you're one of them. So where do you want to start with this?
I'm going to start with this is a show that is supposed to be very prestigious, and I'm not taking anything away from the lighter weight athletes, but the heavyweights are what people came to see, and that heavyweight is the one that, being male and female, if you win that show, you move on to the big stage, the big boy stage, where all the money is.
Mm-hmm.
And so with saying that, the heavyweights are the ones that got screwed. And I'm not even going to bitch for me in general, but there was 3 to 4 athletes that are all within half a point, 1 point to 3 points. They got screwed out of that last event that could have possibly made it to the finals. And I think it's crap. So let me start with also how the thing transpired. Nobody was told by email, phone call, nothing. None of the heavyweights were told that it was running like behind. We only found out when we got there. None of the promoters would tell any of us anything. Myself and Josh Gregory both were talking, Mark Sanchez, And they would not give us clear answers. They just said, "It's running behind. We're going to start when we start, and we're going to finish regardless of whatever time." So we all sat there. Hopefully it was going to, move on and we can get started. Now, keep in mind, everybody that knows strongman and athletes, top tier, you're trying to mark out your food, your ibuprofen, whatever you take, for that time, start time at 4 p.m. Athletes are supposed to be there at 3. We're supposed to start at 4, which would allot for introductions and also warm-up time. So we get there at 4, get told that, it's going to be running behind. We all sit there. Of course, it screws up food and everything else. Also pisses you off, makes you more anxious. So it finally comes around to where it's 7 o'clock and the other show ends. We start warming up with logs or metal road logs, and they're making us use brand new Slater wooden logs, which I think of the people I talked to, about 10 guys have never touched that log.
Wait a second. You were warming up with metal logs to go do wooden logs.
Yes, they had us. And the thing about it is there's 40 athletes, 17 women, 23 men. They had 2 logs set out for all of us to try to warm up on in about 15 minutes. So
might as well have a Titan log back there.
Exactly. And, it's totally different rotation, totally different pick, all that.
Yeah.
I asked one time, could I go out really quick and touch the wooden log, and they would not let us touch it. So, got to touch the log very briefly, went out there, bombed my first attempt, could not clean it to save my life. So it sent me into a spiral, downward spiral. And I was just out of it. I was pissed. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I was messaging Olivia. I was like, tell him to clean it like I do.
I went back and forgot I even had more attempts. I was so upset that I took off all my gear.
No, man.
So if you notice in live stream, when they called my name several times, I was trying to put my stuff back on and still wasn't able to get it all on. I went out there with a regular shirt on and untied shoes. So still couldn't get it. Left off the stage, even more mad, pissed off. So I got with Laws. I said, Laws, you got to help me. I cannot zero a log event. That's just not me. So he had me pick a log backstage and try to work on form real fast. Got my gear back on. Went out for my third attempt to finally hit the 358 log. So that kind of helped it.
Yeah, Stan said it's the same way in Miami. They had Slaters and competed with metal. And then Olivia said Laws finally got to you. And Destiny brought up it was the wrong exit walkout for her.
Yeah, the wrong exit really pissed me off because I thought the guy was screaming at me. And I don't do so well when people scream at me, especially when I'm already upset. So I voiced to him that I was not very happy, and luckily he didn't come behind the platform and continue trying to argue with me because I would have probably been escorted out of the place in handcuffs. So
Destiny said he was arguing.
No, he was arguing. You're damn right, but he didn't come behind that stage. And I was mad. Luckily, I had my wife and Olivia there. They kept me calm, kept me getting me whatever I needed. Without them two, I probably would not have made it through that show, to be honest. Got double log. Same thing backstage. 2 implements that were not even the same. It was a 16-inch pull frame back there, or a hex bar, whatever you want to call it, road hex bar, that we were using backstage to warm up. When out on the floor was a kabuki, which is about 12.5, 13-inch pull. So again, a different implement.
Different setup, like not even the implement, different height and everything. That's dangerous.
Correct. And then also, same thing, 40 athletes used 2 implements to freaking warm up. They gave us about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it was. Not enough time for everybody to sit there and warm up on a for a 900-pound deadlift or 720-pound deadlift. Females got the same treatment of theirs. Even they were saying we didn't have enough time. So it rushed out there to pull the deadlift. I actually did better than I anticipated. I could have pulled 6 to maybe 7. Pulled a little bit on my bicep, but I didn't really want a chance anymore.
Yeah.
And at that time, I already knew I had slipped so much in points, so I was like, you know what, fuck it.
So let me ask you, did you have plans to go for the 900 before all this went to hell?
I did. I wanted to go for it until I got there and I knew I was out of it mentally. I wasn't even going to try to push for it. When there was a few guys who went before me, one I thought was going to pull 900, he couldn't even pull it. So I knew he was capable of doing so, but because he couldn't, I decided not to try it, go for the points.
Yeah.
Which wound up actually doing good for me because it put, that came in 10th or 11th for that.
Yeah, it pushed you up a few spots.
Yeah, so actually that was a good move. Immediately after the frame, they tell us to start warming up for the yoke. Now, keep in mind, there's 2 yokes for the 40 people, and we had I got to use the yoke twice, and we had to immediately get about 900 pounds and run with it. My run was not as great as I wanted. Coming down was great. Going back, I was right before the line, I thought. So I was going to continue doing it. Davey told me to go ahead and turn around and go, like I'd already made it. Yeah. So I picked back up awkwardly, and I didn't ever drop it, though, so that was good. I got like 18 seconds or 17.9 seconds, whatever it was, which actually was about mid-pack, so it wasn't bad. I do think, all in all, if I'd went there and started at 4, and I get no show is perfect. Strongman, you got to make, you've got to adapt. But for the show that it is, and how much money is backing that show, and now that it's a pro-am, you would think they would give the heavyweights enough time and stardom time and everything else. So there's no excuses for that.
I think what kind of confused me is from like the promoter side of it, you're putting a hell of a lot of work on your staff resetting all 4 events for every class. Instead of running through it, let's go log press. Let's let everybody run through while the 105s or the 125s are finishing up open, start warming up. And then instead of having to reset the log for 4 different times, you reset it once, and then you move on to the next event, which would allow you to start lifting at the right time.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got a few comments. Adam saying he still thinks you could have got one on the big deadlift. 18 seconds with 900 still wild. Stan said they told us about the warm-ups. They didn't want us on TV warming up. That's for the showtime. And then Olivia said, don't forget the yokes being ran with the deadlifts we're going. Oh, yeah, that was kind of wild, too. While y'all were still doing deadlifts, the yokes started running behind y'all.
Yeah, the lemon started going. That's right.
And, I mean, y'all had to walk past the yokes to get to the deadlift. It's not like it was, y'all could easily get to it. I mean, y'all had to go across the yoke run, didn't you?
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Like I'm all for running multiple events at the same time and making sure that you can maximize your efforts. But if you got to walk across the runway to do it, you're just asking to get in trouble.
Yes.
Oh.
Agreed.
Well, where else you going from here? Like, what else you got to talk about?
So, after that, after the yoke, Chris Matos came back. He was a really nice guy. Me and Josh Greger were talking to him. And I just plainly asked him, I said, hey, we're going to do the last event. What's up? What are we doing? We're going to the sun comes up, is what I was told. This is about, I'm sorry. Let me back up. I'm sorry, guys. At 8 o'clock or right before 8, spectators were kicked out of the building.
Oh, yeah.
These people, a lot of them have traveled either from Canada, from Iceland, from Georgia, the country of Georgia overseas, several different places, Poland, Czech Republic, and they were told to leave. Now, there was one guy that was from Canada, and I'm not mad at him at all. I think it was great what he did to try to defend his family. He let the police and the strong court people have it, and which is, he was totally in the right. They spent a lot of money to get there, and now they're being kicked out of the building because the promoters ran their show so poorly. So skip over that. We were told, like, right, I guess we'd be starting the bag about 10 minutes from them. James, the leader or owner of Strong Corp, came back and was like, "Hey guys, come on over our way." So we get over there to him, and him not really even seemed like he really gave a damn, to be honest with you. Was like, "Hey, we're only doing the 3 events. We're taking the top 8 competitors from the 3 events. Sorry, we'll make sure it don't happen again next year." And that's all we got.
I don't like that, because you got to think how many of these athletes might not be capable of doing it next year. This might be their only shot at this.
Oh, I get it. And there, like I said, there was at least 4 to 5, I would say, athletes. And anything strongman can happen. Hell, the top 8 guys could 0, and I get it, and I could have been in. So anything's possible.
Yeah.
But for the guys that were real close in points, that 1 or 2 spots could have brought them in. You just screwed them out.
Yeah.
And how much money people put into that show, and how much effort they put into it, and the prestigiousness of that show, you just killed all that. And even athletes that made it into the finals were very unhappy, and just like, man, you just treated the fans like shit. We want to live in front of fans. That's the whole point of the Arnold. And so I lost a lot of respect for them, the way they handled it, and a lot of athletes are now voicing out what happened. So my first ever time lifting for the Arnold, as far as Strongman, was a really, really unfortunate and shitty experience. So I didn't want to. I wanted to tell everybody the truth, exactly what happened. I'm not sugarcoating it. I don't plan to go back, so I don't give a damn if they like me or not after the fact. But it was a shit show from the beginning. We were treated like crap. Really, what they did to us, I'm surprised there wasn't any major injuries. However, a buddy of mine, Jacob Magaha, from Kentucky, did get injured.
What happened to him?
So, he pulled ribs and everything from the deadlift, and then he had to do the yoke, which fucked him up even more.
Jeez.
Just trying to rush. If they'd have let us recover, typically you give athletes 20, 30 minutes to recover. They go back there and they're able to get their food in. Mm-hmm. They're able to sit there for a minute. Then they're able to warm up, and then you go and lift. That's how it should be.
Yeah. With
that show, it ain't like it's nationals where there's 1,000 freaking athletes. You got the Arnold. They know how many is coming. They've known about it for months. They've planned it for months, but they screwed up. Now, a lot of other things, what I've heard about the show, for instance, there was a arm over arm event supposed to happen. Well, there's a certain amount of weight that you can put onto these stages. And the James guy was told how much weight that you can put on the stage. And he had somebody make an implement, or they already have the implement, whatever. And they knew it was going to be or exceed the weight of the stage. James still tried to get it on the stage or try to use that event. When they got told by the Arnold people that weigh everything that they could not use it, he then came over and said, "Hey, we're going to change the next event. It's going to be, instead of arm over arm," because he told us it was broken, which clearly it wasn't broken. It's just his dumbass plan for something, and it didn't work out, even though he knew.
He told y'all it was broken?
He told us it was broken.
Oh my God.
That it didn't work like it was supposed to, or something that was broken. It wasn't that, hey, I fucked up and it was overweight. Nothing of that. He changed it to an event. It was an axle clean and press. Something that none of the guys have trained for. Luckily, they put it at least at 325 pounds, which wasn't terrible weight. But, I figured they're going to put it at something stupid like 350, 375. But still, you change an event on the fly, which nobody had trained for.
Yeah.
Because of your, whatever the hell happened. I don't know. He's just an idiot, I guess. But
Well,
So you had that. It screwed the firefighters out. They cut their last event as well. They couldn't use arm over arm.
oh, so
It was
there was
just
a lot of people who thought the firefighters were the only one who got to do all theirs.
no.
Oh my God.
Firefighters got screwed too.
Nathan Barber joined. He became a member just to say that the whole thing was effed up.
Yeah, I emailed the James guy and told him, I said, the only way to make that right is you send every athlete heavyweight wise another invite, another paid invite. Otherwise, you're going to have several athletes that never want to come back.
Yeah.
And even if he paid for mine, I don't know if I'd go back, to be honest with you. That was crap. I would never treat an athlete like that. Or give a shitty apology like he did. It didn't sound sincere at all. I mean, Olivia was back there. She can vouch for it.
She is.
So it was crap all the way around. And I'm not making excuses. I didn't perform like I should have. However, I do think if it was started on time and we were allotted the right time, I think I could have gotten top 10. So that was some good news for me. I did beat a couple pros, but
yeah,
a lot of people got screwed. I think that somebody needs to fix it, or they need to bring Dion back so she can run it properly.
So was he? I don't know. I don't want to say anything out of turn. So I'll just skip over what I was about to say. But this is James' first show, right?
This is James'
his first Arnold. Yeah. No, I know it's not his first show. I know he's been a part of Strong Court for a long time.
Well, the Nationals ran like shit too, is what I heard, and he also ran the Nationals.
Yeah, Stan is he's been discussing in the comment section how the Masters Nationals went, and he's pretty much saying it's the same thing. Saying it's the same. Yeah. He just said it sounds the same as Miami was. You hate to see that when it changes leadership like that. You expect to be some changes, or at least maybe not the same quality, but you never wanted to see it to drop off like that. Olivia said, we got a couple comments. Steve said, put your support elsewhere. Leadership in Strong Corp has acted this way for years. Nothing's changed because people continue to go to the shows. I mean, if it's continue to bring in money, there's no reason for them to do better. The only way you're going to hurt them is by hurting their pockets. Olivia said James didn't seem to care at all. It was just ridiculous. Nothing I expected from professional level competition.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't just like it was a bunch of amateurs. I mean, for the pro at least, and I guess all the rest of them too. You had pros coming from around the world come there, and you treated them like that.
Yeah, I mean, because if they're not invited to the Classic, the only way in is through this show. So, I mean, technically, like, Brian Shaw could have done the show if he wanted to.
That's correct. Brian Shaw could have entered. Matthew Skoskovsky, all of them could have entered.
Yeah. Looks like Stan said Mississippi and Tennessee are the only Strong Corp left locally. Now, Georgia's still Strong Corp. Georgia's strongest man. So, it's out of Alabama. There's no Strong Corp in Alabama that I'm aware of.
Well, yeah, like I said, I want everybody to know what went on, so that way if you go to the Arnold, what to expect. It may run better for you. Like I said, all the lighter classes, it was fine. But once they got to the heavyweights, it was bad. I mean, it was really bad. I mean, it ran behind, and it was just poor planning or whatever the hell happened. I don't know. But, on the fly for us, they changed the events, too, to try to make time go by.
Yeah.
They made the yoga set a 60-foot down, 60-foot back. They made 30-foot down, 30-foot back. The sandbags, you no longer had to run with the sandbags. They're going to be right at the bar, and you're only going to do the 4 sandbags instead of 5. So they were still trying to skim time off, but they still couldn't pull it off. Yeah,
and I mean, that type of changing, I don't see an issue with.
That was fine.
Yeah. When you change an entire event, that's the issue.
Yes.
Like, you take out an event.
And it wasn't like it was another event that you would use your back for. You just completely changed people to another pressing event.
Yeah, the pull to a axle press. That's insane.
Yeah.
Steve said Florida Strongman Corp is pathetic these days. Unfortunately, shows are dying out. 100 people at Florida's Strongest 2022, 26 this year. Literally.
That's exactly why I'm happy to be unsanctioned.
Yep.
I don't want to be with none of it.
The only reason I even took that USS is just to have it kind of in-house with everybody else and give an opportunity in the state to go to Nationals USS. I haven't heard near as many bad things about USS Nationals than Strong Court, but I've never been to either one personally. I've qualified,
No,
but never gone.
I've heard decent things. Obviously, every show's got something bad somebody's going to say, especially when they lose.
Yeah.
But there's no excuse for shows like Nationals and shows like the Arnolds. It's something that's people pay a lot of money to go to, and they spend a lot of money with their families to travel. You would think the show would do their due diligence and try to take care of it and run it like it's supposed to be ran, and not take people for granted.
Yeah. Hearing all this stuff, I mean, I hate it. I don't like anybody that I know going through this kind of stuff, but it does give me the opportunity to pick on some people because I can be like, you chose that over my show.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, that shit really messed me up in my head because when you prepare for something, you're so excited and you can't even touch something. Because I tried. I mean, you ask Olivia, we went there, and I was going to try to touch logs. Well, they had them wrapped up in plastic. You couldn't even touch the wooden logs the day before.
That's when you have the same issue like going into World Strongman. It's becoming more about the spectator than it is about the athlete. Athlete's got to be first.
Also, another thing, all the sandbags, I don't know about lighter weights, but I know the heavyweights, the trailer where rainwater or whatever got on, they were soaking wet, full of water.
Oh. Olivia said when you asked about it, he said it's wrapped up all pretty.
Yeah.
If you're more concerned about the aesthetic than the athlete's well-being, you're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah. So like I said, without my support people there, like Catherine, Olivia, and then Amanda and her team and TJ, getting IVs and working with me and just keep my mind off of me. That shit really bothered the hell out of me. So it gave me a lot of more anxiety than I needed.
Well, I imagine so.
You went in front of all this many people, you've never been there, and my thing is I want to show that I belong. I want to beat a few pros. So to not have the greatest performance, it let me down. But with the circumstances that happened, a lot of people probably feel the same way. There were several that were voicing back there that they would never come back to the Arnold. And several also were worried about injuries, which, when you rush right into different events, you can't even recover. Yeah, I'm surprised there wasn't a lot more injuries.
Oh, yeah. The way they changed up stuff and was pushing y'all so fast. I mean, I understand trying to push through and get it done in a timely manner, but doing 4 events and Michael said 2 hours and 50 minutes. I mean, you're not giving the athletes enough time to recover, or to prep, or do whatever they need to do.
Yeah, we started like 7:30 something. We did ours in like under an hour and a half, or right an hour and a half, did 3 events. That's how rushed we were.
Olivia said, and right after they were told the finalists, we were told we had 10 minutes to get our stuff and get out.
Yes, we just got done doing the freaking yoke, tired as hell, and as soon as he came back, thinking we're about to do the sandbags, he comes out there and tells us that, and then 5-10 minutes later, this lady comes out there and says, "Hey, y'all got to be out of here by 9. It's 8:50 or 8:47, whatever the hell it was. Y'all got to be out of here in 10 minutes out of the building."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't even have my shit packed. Like I'm exhausted. I haven't eaten properly today. My medicine's worn off. I'm feeling every bit of the pain. And they were just like, "Get the hell out."
Golly.
So,
not
good.
I hate you experience that.
I'm just happy that I'm not 25-year-old Trey, because I would have caused a scene and probably assaulted some people. And I'm just really glad I've grown up from that.
Steve Coyne said we need to separate Southern U.S. League. I like that.
Mr. Coyne, if you can run it better than that, I will happily be right behind you.
There is some support in the chat. Destiny said, I trust Matt to do a great show in Georgia. Matt's a good strong court representative. He's the one that I've met so far that truly cares. I do have, I'll take that back. I've met a couple of good local promoters.
David McCain, for instance, for Kentucky.
Well,
that's why I started my strongman experience. He's a good guy.
Well, our guests from Colorado, Rosalinda and Brandon, they're strong court. They're great people. They care about the athletes. The problem
Yep.
is the further up you get from the local level, the less people care. And sometimes that trickles down to the local level. It sucks.
Well, let's since you just talked about the upper levels being a little shady, let's put off real quick into just like what Rebecca called it, chalk gate.
Oh yeah, chalk gate. Dude, that whole
I heard true stuff from somebody. I'm not gonna name because I don't want to put names out, but I got the true scoop from actually a couple of different people.
All right, well, hang on before you do that. So we're going to go ahead. We're transitioning from the amateur to pro into the actual classic. We'll start with the chalk gate, but there's a lot of things, and we did the live stream Saturday. We covered two of the three final events, and there were a lot of things that I saw that to me I was like, that's a lot of favoritism. But let's start with the chalk gate. I'll let you go first.
There's a lot of favoritism. Oh yeah.
So Steven's saying name names. So let's go.
I don't want to name just because I don't want it. I mean, but people know who the fuck they are. That's for sure. Rebecca Roberts is a great person.
Oh yes.
She's an amazing athlete. Every time I can talk to her, I try to talk to her. And she, about 2 weeks ago or so, had been in the hospital. Really, she wasn't even supposed to be really doing the show. So for her to get there and actually win a couple of events is outstanding. But she made a simple mistake of putting liquid chalk on instead of, your regular rub-in chalk, which really, to be honest, doesn't make a damn difference. I don't give a shit who says what.
I've never seen a difference. No.
There's not. And in fact, the wet chalk will actually rub off your hands a lot easier sometimes than actual, as far as dry chalk. So anyway, so she put that on by mistake. She went out and did her frame. She did good on time. Well,
yeah,
I think one is go ahead.
I think she was in second place with her run. Yeah.
Correct. An athlete and his coach decided to berate her.
Now, hang on. And you said an athlete and his coach, implying that this is not even a female athlete that it affects. This is a male athlete that has no bearing on it.
Male athlete with a male coach. Wasn't even, but the coach also coaches a couple other female athletes that are in, going against her.
Mm-hmm.
So, they basically berated her, called her a cheater, were trying to get her disqualified. She went hat in hand to the judges and explained to them what went on. The judges, even my source was like, hey, as a coach, I wouldn't have said shit. That doesn't make a damn difference. It ain't like she was using straps.
Yeah.
So they allowed her to go out and do it again, which I love the fact that she did because then she won it. And
did you say she went without chalk completely?
Well, no. She made the statement back there that she was going to not use chalk at all.
I wish she would.
So Laws actually was the one that stopped her backstage and told her, hey, no, you're going to use fucking chalk. And she said, well, because he scared me, I used chalk. So, but yeah, she won it. And I'm glad it was a big FU to those two. But after she won it, they decided to go on to a smear campaign and talk shit about her, called her a cheater and everything else to diminish what she did. And now it's got on the social media, them talking shit, and I know she's put out a rebuttal of what actually went on. But yeah, that's the true inside of what happened.
Stan said she said the rules were 27 pages.
It was always a shit show.
I don't want to ever hear y'all complain about my 2 pages of rules.
I got told about the rules and from a very reliable source, and he said that the rules meeting was a shit show.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways,
and I'm assuming, I think I know who the coaches in the female division, And
well, Olivia definitely knows who these people are.
Well,
but,
and it didn't affect.
I can't tell you.
Like even her winning that event didn't affect the overall standings.
No, it didn't. It was just something that they wanted to bitch about because their athlete got beat. And
now,
simple as that.
From a spectator point of view, during the live stream, I was a little concerned about it because I didn't know. All we knew was she used liquid chalk. She wasn't supposed to. She was going to rerun it. And I was thinking, that's kind of unfair to have her do another run because she now has a feel for the implement. She's good to go. She's warmed up. It's going to be a better run. And
hey, go through the comments just for a second. I'm about to be tangled up just for 2 seconds.
You're good. I was just surprised that they would let her run that twice. I mean, I see now why that happened, but before I knew why, I was thinking that was kind of unfair because she has an advantage. Let's see. Nathan Barber said all the shows I've done here treat everyone like they should. Chuck, Todd, Trey. I'm sure I've missed people, but you guys work your asses off. It's level of excellence we need everywhere. Stan said, she said there was 27 pages. Tyler said, where can I find the shit-talking coach? I haven't seen anything. We'll keep that quiet. Sounds like Eddie Hall and Thor drama. It does, kind of, yes. Steve said he got time tonight. Forgetting Matt. Nathan, you got to do his yet. I don't think Nathan's ever done Matt's show.
He would enjoy it. Matt's a good guy.
Yeah. Are you ordering something?
Yeah, I'm trying. Now they want to talk. Give me a second.
Swinging through a drive-through. So while we are waiting on him to do his thing, I will say this. I'm going to gloat a little bit. I don't have the ability to pull it up, but the podium predictions that we had a couple weeks ago, I think it was actually last week, I had for my men Hatton, Mitchell Hooper, and Half-Thor. Trey gave me so much crap for picking Half-Thor, and I said I have a feeling he's going to come in third. It's going to be a close one. And sure enough, I'm bragging about my podium picks.
Okay.
So I got all three correct. I just had Lucas and Mitchell Hooper backwards. And then for the women, I have to go back and double check, but I'm pretty sure I had it dead on. I had Inez, followed by Olga, and then followed by Angelica Jardine. So I'm pretty confident I got all of the podiums total correct and only 2 out of place.
Yeah, you beat me there. I had Inez, but I had Lucy and Rebecca in the top 3.
Mm-hmm.
But the men, I had Mitchell Hooper, Hatton, and then Trey Mitchell. So he was 4th. So I was close.
And I knew it was going to be close because Trey is a solid athlete, but he got
it's
screwed.
The damn frame. If he would have come in mid-pack or great on the frame, he would have won the show.
Well, he got screwed on the stone and I think on the log and the log press.
It's so crazy to me, like you said. I know we're going to get into it, but there was a lot of favoritism, especially with somebody's overhead press that they never brought their head straight back out, of course. And,
You talking about the stone?
Lockouts.
You talking about the stone?
Well, yeah, I'm talking about Mr. Mitchell Hooper did not bring his head back through at all.
Well, on the stone, Tyler Haynes pointed out to us during the live that that was not part of the rules. They didn't have to put their head through on the stone.
Well, why wouldn't it be a normal pressing event? You would want to put your head through. So what the hell?
I don't know. He said it was for the safety reason, so that was part of the rules.
Okay.
So we'll give him that. But I will say I was really surprised that they gave Tom Stoltman the log press that he got. Because they must have gave him the quickest down call ever because he at lockout, even during the replay when it was slow-mo, he was already falling forward. Like it was almost like a press up and then forward and fell down.
Yeah.
And they gave it to him. Then they go and screw Trey Mitchell out of a couple of reps. And then they did the same thing on the stone.
He actually did that stone like 5 times. So he's a beast.
Yeah.
I want to say a side note here. Everybody's going to laugh when I say this, but Somebody bombed another show, and his name was Bobby frickin' Thompson.
I was waiting on it.
Oh, yeah. Bombed the shit out of it.
Oh, man.
I was so giddy and just laughing. Because, you know, what pissed me off the most is he acts like so dramatic when he misses something, like he's injured all of a sudden.
Well,
I don't understand it.
He got lightheaded during the stone. You know, he's about to pass out, and then he hit the back of his head on one of the events. Man, he had a hard time. Don't pick on him too much. He got beat up. Oh, he can't see my face, so
I can't see, but yeah, got beat up all right. Yeah, he was just playing the child because he couldn't lift. He's a one-trick pony. He can log press, or I guess he's a two-trick pony. He can log press and deadlift. Other than that, he couldn't even pick up a 275 damn pound stone.
Yeah,
he kept slipping from his hands.
Yeah.
So get him off the pro circuit stage. Get him off of there.
A couple comments coming in. So Stan said Toad Hatton was taking names. Stone was in the rules for safety. Nate said, I'm going to complain now, Chuck. What are you going to complain about? Tell me. And then Desi said, Trey, you missed it when he was talking about the judging inconsistency earlier. Yeah, I before you hopped on, I was talking about the inconsistencies, and Olivia pointed it out too. The judging between the Pro-Am people and the Classic was pretty incredible too. One definitely strict while the other was not. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, ours was some strict damn judging going on.
Austin threw it out, said, I think I could pick up a 275 stone.
Oh, I know, and that's what's crazy to me. He got it at one time, got lightheaded, can never pick it back up. Yeah. So that's crazy for a 340-pound man who deadlifts over 900 pounds. Now you can't pick up a 275-pound stone. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, man. Well, do you have any other complaints about the Classic? Not necessarily your portion of it, like the.
Well, all in all, I think it was a fun show. I mean, the behind the head lift was electric. I wish they would have let it be a last man standing. To be honest with you,
they really should. And Thor, that's where I thought Thor had screwed himself up out of the podium position because he got all three. Oh, we got kicked out. There we go. Are we back? We got kicked out for a second.
Uh-oh.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, so froze up for a minute. So Charles supposed to say, I think we all think the Arnold Pro-Am was a good idea.
Yeah.
Stan said he was talking about that. What was he talking about Sunday?
What?
Stan said Big Laws was talking about that Sunday. I'm not sure exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Was he talking about the consistency or the stone?
I don't know.
But
I think the Pro-Am's a good thing. Obviously, it's going to be harder every year because there's been more pros coming.
Mm-hmm.
But for the amateurs that do make it, if you beat some pros, I mean, you know kind of where you stand.
Yeah. Oh, Stan said Big Loss was talking about the Max Jerk on his Sunday podcast. It was definitely probably the highlight of the show. That
No.
The deadlift was okay. It was kind of lackluster. You had an athlete who he zeroed on a 700 plus deadlift.
750
Maxime,
pound deadlift.
yeah, Maxime Boudreau, which I don't know if he was hurt going into the show, but he's always hurt, it seems like.
Well, he was still massive. I mean, he came in.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. Every athlete came in. I mean, they were huge. Inez, Emma Singleton, all of them were bigger than normal. And even Maxime was a pretty damn big guy. I saw him a couple times, but yeah, I don't know what happened. He came in unprepared or what have you. That's why I don't understand why they're able to get in there. I mean, I get it. They're there and they're going to make some money, but they're robbing somebody else of a spot.
Oh, yeah.
Could get in there and actually do pretty good. I don't like that at all.
No, I can't stand the fact that you've got these athletes who, I mean, granted, they've earned their right to be there at some point, but after so long, you've got to step back. I mean, if you're consistently coming in 10th place every time or failing out after the first event, there's other athletes who would push through way better. Like, I mean, Nick Guardian and Austin Andrade, like they did well. Like, I was happy to see them in there. I mean, Austin came in 5th, I think, and Nick came in like 7th or 8th, something like that. Yeah, but they finished every event. They didn't zero. They pushed through. They completed the whole comp, and actually, Austin pushed the top athletes a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, he came in. He was strong man.
So Nathan said he's freaking pisses me off coming in shows injured when someone else could have had the spot. Yeah. And then he was talking about earlier, he's going to complain about my 2 pages of rules now. Well, we're coming up on an hour. Is there any other grievances you want to air out or anything positive you'd like to say about the show?
Positive was I had a great experience. Like I said, I was over there with my team, Captain Olivia.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually pretty fun to be over there. Ate some good food. There was a lot of people. Got to meet a lot of people. Sam Bellevue.
She said the Circuit Dumbbell record, didn't she?
She did.
Yeah.
And Canby Dude was there. Chris Canby hit a 405 Viking press. So it was cool to meet all those people. But for me, it's I don't know. I've already done it twice. I guess been there, lifted in the HBC and all, but the crowds kind of get a little ridiculous. You can't get anywhere. And this year, for some odd reason, a lot of the big name people that are usually there were not there. There's a lot of new companies. So there wasn't really anything I wanted to look at.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Overall, it was a fun experience, except for the show. It was just a shit deal. But
I will say the biggest positive I saw come out of this was the women's division. Across the board, every athlete did really well. And Stan even shouted out that Lyle did good. I think this was her first show.
Oh, yes. Well, I don't know. At first, I think I thought she was an athlete who came in and wasn't ready. But the more she went, like on the frame and all, I mean, you could tell she was warming up. She did really well.
Yeah. She definitely picked it back up. There was one event, I can't remember exactly what it was, but she came out and she was up there with the best of them. So overall, I think the show was entertaining to watch. I hate all the crap that went on in the background. It really kind of messes with the perspective of, you put that up on such a high pedestal because it's the Arnold, and then you find out it's just a bunch of drama in the background anyway.
Oh, yeah. It was ridiculous. So,
you got some shout outs here. Stan said, you did great, coach. Proud of you. Charles said, much respect to you for making it and performing there. All things still impressive. And then Dr. Deadlift said, it was awesome seeing you out there, Trey. Compete with those guys. You did awesome. Olivia says, Trey and Michael, y'all did amazing. Yeah, Michael, shout out to Michael, member to the channel. Podiumed at Limit Breaker and then took 7th place in his class at the Arnold. Y'all did amazing. We had a great showing from the South. I mean, we had Tyler Davis win his class. There was a couple other athletes that were there. Relentless was competing there. So, I mean, a lot of entertaining athletes and a lot of good people there. Just hate they had bad experiences.
I got to see Michael a couple times. Actually, he's a very deserving athlete.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully somebody with you or PSL will give him his invite that he so greatly deserves.
I am pushing for it hard. I'm going to be talking with Tyler probably sometime this week about it.
Good.
And he said, thanks. Definitely. Hey, you deserve it, man. I'm excited to see you back in another show soon.
Well, I guess I don't really have anything else. I appreciate everybody getting on. I needed to vent.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, that really upset me. But I feel better now. I appreciate it.
All right,
and now for me, next up is the Forge and then PSL. So I plan to bust my ass at PSL because what I've heard is it's way better ran than with the shit I just dealt with. So
it's definitely athlete first. I know that. So.
Very good.
All right. Well, thank y'all all for joining us. A couple things. We added 2 new members to the channel today. We got Nathan joined us, and hang on, let me make sure I give him a shout out because that's what we're supposed to do.
That's your chia pet, Nathan Barber.
And William Clark both joined today.
Oh, William is my guy.
Yep. So
Yeah,
appreciate y'all joining. We had a super chat from Dr. Deadlift Keith Harden, who has broken 400 pounds on his deadlift. He's doing really good. And
no, not 400 kilos next. Keith, that's what I want to see.
That's next, yep. I'm going to brag on myself a little bit. I haven't done heavy deadlift since May last year, and I pulled 508 twice today.
So it doesn't count because your dad's the one that put plates on and weighed them.
My dad didn't.
Oh.
One of my brothers did, okay?
Gotcha.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining. If you hadn't already, hit the like button down there, and hopefully we will see you next Tuesday. We're going to try to keep this on a Tuesday basis.
Have a good one, America.
Be safe. Be safe, Trey.
Bye, man.
See ya.